Imagine this. You wake up in Victorian London. The year is 1850. The streets smell of coal and horse manure. Steam engines rumble in the distance, top hats and corsets dominate the sidewalks. But inside your pocket, there's something strange. Not a pocket watch, not a letter, but a glowing device. A portal to an invisible network that connects every mind, every machine, every ambition. The internet, 1 century before its time. Now pause for a second. What if the internet wasn't born in the 20th century, but in the heart of the Industrial Revolution? What if Dickens had a blog? What if Karl Marx had a Twitter feed? What if Abraham Lincoln was live streaming the Gettysburg Address to millions of Victorians around the world? This is not just a sci-fi daydream. This is a thought experiment, a what-if that unravels not just technology, but humanity itself. Stay with me, because over the next 30 minutes, we'll dive into a world where steam engines meet search engines, telegrams evolve into TikToks, and the destiny of nations is rewritten not with gunpowder, but with bandwidth. Let's start with a simple question. Who would have built the internet in the 1800s? Charles Babbage, the man behind the mechanical computer. Ada Lovelace, the prophetess of algorithms. The telegraph engineers who already dreamed of instant communication across oceans. Now, imagine them not just building clunky brass machines, but connecting them. The telegraph lines stretching across continents become the first fiber optics. The whirring difference engines become the servers. Steam power drives the routers. Welcome to SteamNet. But here's the twist. The internet of the 1800s wouldn't be a tool for memes and shopping carts. It would be a weapon of empire. The British East India Company could coordinate invasions in real time. The American Civil War might be live-streamed one bloody tweet at a time. And revolutions? They'd spread faster than the plague, because now one spark in Paris could ignite riots in St. Petersburg within minutes. The question isn't, could the internet exist? It's what kind of world it would create. Picture this: Victorian Facebook. Gentlemen posting daguerreotype selfies. Aristocrats bragging about their lavish tea parties. Queen Victoria herself with a verified royal account. But unlike today, access wouldn't be free. It would be pay per byte. Only the wealthy elites could afford unlimited data plans. The poor, well, they'd be stuck outside the digital palaces, just as they were locked out of real ones. Now think of Victorian influencers. Poets, philosophers, and inventors would become viral stars. Charles Darwin drops On the Origin of Species not as a dusty book, but as a series of online essays. Imagine the comment section. Theologians raging in real time, memes of monkeys wearing wigs flooding the feeds. Even romance changes. Courtship no longer through letters and candlelit conversations, but through chat rooms powered by Steam. Slide into my Telegraph inbox becomes the new language of love. And here's where the plot thickens. Censorship. Governments in the 1800s were terrified of radical pamphlets. What would they do with a network that could spread revolution in seconds? Would monarchies survive the internet or crumble beneath it? Let's talk geopolitics. If the internet existed in the 1800s, colonialism wouldn't just be about guns and ships, it would be about data control. The empire that controlled the network controlled the world. Britain might have ruled not just the seas, but the servers. The United States, instead of railroads, might have built nationwide broadband. And smaller nations? Well, they'd either plug into the system or vanish from history. But here's the paradox. The internet doesn't just empower empires, it empowers rebels. Secret societies, revolutionaries, dreamers, they'd no longer need underground printing presses. They'd have encrypted chat rooms, pirate servers, digital barricades. The revolutions of 1848, the springtime of nations, with SteamNet they might have succeeded. maybe Europe wouldn't be a continent of monarchies, but an early digital democracy. And here's the ultimate what if. World War I. Could it even happen? If nations were wired together, if soldiers were live streaming trenches, would the bloodshed be stopped? Or would propaganda spread faster than ever, making war inevitable? Every technology has a price. In the 1800s, child labor filled factories. Imagine those same children now working in data mines, cranking levers to keep the servers alive. Imagine the smog of London not just choking lungs, but clogging giant steam-cooled processors. And socially, the anxiety, the distraction, and the addiction we feel today, multiply it by a century of unprepared minds. Victorians were already struggling with industrial change. Throw them into the chaos of digital hyperspeed, and you don't just get progress, you get madness. Would literature survive? Would slow philosophy and deep reflection vanish under a tidal wave of instant gratification? Would human connection deepen or collapse into shallow noise? So, what if the internet was invented in the 1800s? Maybe it would have ended monarchies a century early. Maybe it would have fueled revolutions faster than gunpowder. Maybe it would have made empires invincible, or doomed them to chaos. But here's the secret. The internet doesn't really matter when it's invented. What matters is how humans use it. Technology doesn't just change history, it exposes us, our greed, our curiosity, our hunger for connection, and our endless talent for division. The Industrial Revolution gave us steam. The digital revolution gave us screens. And if those two worlds had collided, maybe the question isn't whether the internet could exist in the 1800s. Maybe the question is, are we any wiser now in the 21st century than the Victorians would have been? And that is the thought I'll leave you with.